Good evening. Welcome to our band concert. I'm having a little bit of difficulty tonight, though. I don't understand why people would be going to the carnival across the street and paying money when the greatest show tonight in Aston is right here tonight on the stage. But to each his own. One group I want to recognize tonight is the grandparents. Can the grandparents please stand up? Any grandparents are in the audience tonight? I just noticed concert after concert the support of the grandparents, the extended families, the brothers and sisters, aunts, uncles, nephews, nieces, anybody else I forget. It's just a great support that you show your student here, and the support you give them and all the hours they put in, their lessons, the monetary support you give to them in the program. We really appreciate that, and keep coming back. We have our band, or our choral concert next Thursday, and then in a couple weeks we have Jazz in the Valley, so continue to come back. Also, I want to give Mr. Pry and the students big kudos. They've been doing a great job this year. Every year, as you well know, they raise the bar, and they continue to raise the bar for all the students who are coming after them. So we appreciate their efforts. And without further ado, Mr. Pry and the Sun Valley Band.
Okay. First of all, welcome. Welcome to the spring band concert. That was Short Ride on Fast Machine by John Adams. Minimalistic music. If you just kind of got yourself caught up in the soundscape, there's not a lot of melody going on except the very end-ish. But literally, this to them was probably the toughest thing a lot of them had to do. How many of you are in that boat? This is the most toughest thing you've ever, yeah. Okay, and we did that right out of the gates, okay? So there you go. So give them one more round of applause for that. Next we have Elegy for a Young American. This was composed primarily after the death of JFK. At this time, we were starting to look at our future leader, and you know, at the time, and I was trying to relate this to the kids on stage about, and I know that I said, hey, most parents, and some parents weren't alive at the point of his death. But you know, how many parents in here remember exactly where they were the moment they heard, right? And those little things. So a lot of times in band, it's not just about the notes and rhythms, but it's about the other things. We had a chance to kind of talk about, very briefly, but just kind of talk about some of the, you know, the stages of grief, loss, and things like that. Whether it is a death or whether it is, you know, even just finding the news of someone that has cancer or something like that. But being able to portray this music, without that knowledge, prior knowledge, sometimes it doesn't have any relation. So last night we got to talk a little bit about those stages with being denial and isolation, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. In this tune, there's all sorts of things that, you know, if we've gone through that. Your acceptance might be a little different than somebody else's, and every situation is different. So you know, we're talking about real things here, and again, not just notes and rhythms, but you know, being able to play this from somewhere beyond just it's the head and the fingers, but able to allow the heart to get in there. So as we go through this journey, you know, those 7 steps kind of go in and out. So you can kind of determine where we are in that. But this is Lopresti's Elegy for a Young American. guys up here do such amazing work. And again, knowing where this comes from and knowing how this all is just interwoven, and being able to do that it's incredible focus, it's incredible drive, and they're just incredible musicians. We are going to, and basically the first two tunes, if you want to really call it our serious stuff, we got some serious stuff out of the way. So they're going to kind of go, we're going to start moving into our percussion land, okay? What we're about to do now, and this is kind of a little different for us, usually the band kind of sits up here and while the percussion does some things, the band's actually going to get to watch it at this point. So this is somewhat news to them, but yeah, you guys can sit there, any open seat, just find one. Perfect, great. Doesn't matter if they're roped off, everybody's here. Go wherever you need to sit is perfect. Awesome. Here in Sun Valley, we're able to, we've done a few things over the past few years that have been quite innovative. Through the support of Mr. Donaghy and the rest of the upper administration, we've been able to kind of make some changes and do some things that are again, very unique to what we're doing, but also have band directors around the area kind of wondering what we're doing and why we're doing it and how we're doing it. One of the things that we're doing that kind of turned things around, and again, other directors are looking at us, is we take our percussion and separate them. We separate them from the winds and the brass. Why? Because they don't need to learn about breathing. They do, because they won't live if they don't breathe. But they don't have to worry about me talking with the Barry Saxes about the F sharp and all that stuff in their scales. But vice versa, the other folks don't have to listen to us talk about how to play crash cymbals. But we just get to have percussion time, and that is awesome because what we're about to do is just percussion things, and this is wonderful. It's the best, almost kind of the best part of my day. My whole day is awesome when I'm with these kids. So, but that's I'll save that for later. This group in front of me, I'm going to come down because I need to start them. This group in front of me is, we'll call them the freshman ensemble, but we had to enlist a few of the upperclassmen to help us out in some of the respects with Lou, Othello, Natalie, and James. Okay, but this is the freshman ensemble. This is evening news, so enjoy. we're kind of, I guess, going cross-generational, because there's some folks that don't understand that whole deep, 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 deep over there. I know the young folks don't, but that's the nightly news. I kind of remember, hey, and now the news, you always hear that thing. But anyway, it's neat to be able to kind of, again, experience with the generations of this. And I guess I'm the old guy here, but at least with them, sorry. Speaking of them, I'm actually going to play with this one. We have, again, the use of steel pans is running rampant in the Pendoco School District, as we have the full orchestra down at Northley. So a lot of them are involved in the steel pan group and are able to do it down there, and basically coming up here, some of them just go, hey, I'd like to do something else. But it's also a great experience, and it's very different as a percussionist to play pans, because they're not arranged chromatically like xylophones, so your head kind of has to get a little different feeling for it, but they do a great job with it. If you didn't realize, the guys were actually doing a little bit of improv in there, so we gave them a few things to do, and it was all on their own. They've been kind of working on that, and again, that's one of those things. Takes a lot of courage to just make stuff up on the fly, especially when everybody's watching, all that stuff. So we are going to be setting up on stage for something that's a little different. This is actually going to combine both ensembles together in trying to find something and some material to do. This is actually something I think Mr. Dunnigy should know that I actually saved and did this with $0. There's no instruments involved. Okay? So yeah, $0 was gone into actually the instruments performed here. So in order to find a way to just combine both groups together, I do see them, they do overlap a little bit with the scheduling this year. So I do have them all at once for about 15 minutes. So it's like, how do we get them to do something together rather than trying to figure out a way to get even more instruments than we already have. I kind of came across this and stumbled upon this just to start something after the new year, and it was like, hey, that's actually not a bad idea, and they've kind of taken to this. So here is Claptrap. So to kind of bookend some things we're going to do, our upperclassmen ensemble, we're going to do a little Caribbean tune for you, a little different vein, not in the soca beat as it is, but in more of a reggae style. So if you're feeling the need to, head to the islands or so, Feel free if you want to take me along. I'll certainly go. Okay, that's my wife first, but I'll definitely go, and I would love to be sitting on a beach, listening to these guys do what they do. Vacation. The short one up here, raising her hand, she finally got to play the steel pans after 4 years. Someone last year had to go to a wedding during the spring concert out in Arizona, so she wasn't here, so I threw her a bone. So I threw her a bone this year and put her on pans, so she owes me. And to close out our the percussive element of this evening is a tune that has a whole lot of stuff involved. Yeah, I mean, just you can see the ins and outs and there's all kinds of different instruments and stuff that we have that we're using, that we're finding to use, and you know, it's not just okay. Here's a marimba, play it, but it's here's a marimba, and you guys watch these guys over here. You're gonna be playing all kinds of little toys and stuff at the same time. One with one hand, one with another, maybe one with a foot. Hold mallets in their mouths. You don't do that, do you? Okay. I don't recommend that either. But this type of stuff is very fun to put together. Because they look at me and go, wait, I'm supposed to do what with what hand and this with that hand? You're crazy. Usually I say, yes, I am. But yes, you're capable of doing it. And as you can see, again, we have such a great talented group in here. So here is T minus 5.
you really do kind of... I do think about these things before I come up here. I just want to make little announcement, but the fact that you're all staring at me. Anyway, over the past 4 years, you really have helped me and all of the seniors and everyone else on the stage really mature as musicians, and you've really been pushing us to do well, especially with Short Ride, which I think is the worst thing I've ever had to play. But I did it anyway, and I got through it, and I appreciate that you pushed me to do that, so thank you. And so, I remember last year the seniors got you a baton, and through thinking and through spending too much time on the internet, I decided to kind of also get you a baton, but this one lights up. Better? You can't really see it in the light. Yeah, it does, I promise. And also, Stephen Smith made you a necklace. Yeah. And we have flowers and 2 cards. The gold one is seniors, and the blue one is everybody.
It is tough for a student to come up here and they have everything planned out. I do too sometimes, and look out and go, and it really has a way of doing that. But Nicole did a fine job. Thank you. Awesome. There's so many things. Today we talked about really what fun is, and sometimes fun might not be balloons and clowns and things like that, but sometimes it just may be the pursuit or sometimes the capture of something that was very challenging. We have, and as you can hear, Short Ride, we talked about it. I told them there's a few things I will never apologize for, and one of them is challenging them. I will never apologize and for challenging them, sometimes beyond where they go, but they usually have a way of figuring that out. So there's a whole lot of things that we'll talk about after Spyscape, and how some of that has a whole heck of a lot of meaning. So now on to our not serious side. This is the fun side, I guess, if you want to really talk about. But we're going to take on a few journeys with this and the next tune, and here we are with Spyscape. intrigue, mystery. After every quarter, you're looking around to see if there's something there, and we always get to something else. Wouldn't that be such an amazing and a very interesting twist for a marching band show? Not this year. Gotcha. Okay. Usually around this time, they wait for bated breath. Wait in with bated breath, I should say, not for. But with bated breath, as we have an announcement of the upcoming show that we will be preparing for our competitive purposes in this year to defend our state championship. In doing so, we've found a niche over the past few years with shows that not only entertain our crowd, entertain the football crowds, but really entertain anybody who comes to competitions. And really, we create fans from the other bands, which is really awesome. Bands and the parents are coming out to see us. What are we doing? What's the innovative thing that we're doing this year? Sometimes it's just, we've got a character. This year's character with Witch and Famous, we are all witches. And it didn't matter good, bad, and ultimately that's what it is. This year's, we'll be taking on not a similar character, but we'll be very character-driven as well. Our story and kind of always revolves around, in this case, life situations where we have, in our case this year, the big bad wolf. And the big bad wolf has their things, or they're hiding in the shadows. And it is until someone comes along, Little Red Riding Hood, to defeat that wolf. And again, in life, we can parallel that oftentimes. So the story will revolve around the band as a wolf character. And basically, we have a few things in working with one of our other designers that has been just a great inspiration for me with some of the stuff. But in every generation, there is a Little Red Riding Hood. Every generation has their own form of the heroine or hero. So look for a lot of that. And again, always try to find something that the students can relate to. And that's been the challenge lately. And this one kind of, I think it's going to work for us very well. We don't really have a title. If you want to look up, though, John Fannin, we're going to use him again, the guy who wrote the stuff. Just look up Beyond the Forest's Edge. Okay, that is the title that he has. So look for some trees and all kinds of props like that to take us to the forest. They have a wolf tempting us, whether it's tempting us or telling us or trying to do harm. Look for the red throughout the show, and our Little Red Riding Hood character basically being the heroine or hero in this case. So there you go. Totally excited to get work on this. The color guard has already started with some spring training, as well as the percussion has already started too. Not on the music or anything because they don't know, but that'll slowly start to creep out there. So there you go. I'm excited to present that to you as we always do. And there you go. Hi, Chris. Chris is taking pictures right now. It's awesome. I love to see them. Oh, okay. Sorry. All right, we are going to take you on one final journey through all sorts of different places and things with the with Batman versus Superman coming out and all kinds of different movies. I always take myself back to one of my favorite composers. No, it's not Hans Zimmer or Maya. That's Maya Jackson's favorite composer, right? Yes. Some know John Williams as is the Star Wars fame. For me, Danny Elfman was kind of that one person who has done tons of movies, but is so iconic in some of the songs that he does and some of the movies that he's done. So we will close out this evening, and actually before I do that, I did need to do the seniors. My fault. My fault. Cross, first, if there's any seniors in the back that aren't standing here and that aren't playing in this, can we get them out here? Okay. So, we have no seniors in the trumpet section. That's awesome. Okay. We have no seniors in the bari sax section. Okay. Which is, again, awesome. We don't have any in the alto sax section. Again, great. It's great for the future. We have one over there, Paige Jester, in the tenor sax section. In our trombone section, we have Tyler Smith and Cassie Morris. Our percussion section back here, pop out there. We have a bunch of, and this is one of the big hits that we're taking this year in percussion. We have Sydney Lamoureux, Natalie Lamborn, we have Eric Lewis, Eric Kennedy, okay? Seth Lockman, Tim Smith, and Brandon Myers. In our flute section, we have Kate Campbell. And right? In our clarinet section, we have our two wolves here. We have Rory McDermott and Steve Smith. So there is your senior class of the band members. They have. Oh, I'm sorry, O'Neill. I'm sorry. I always forget one. I don't always forget one. I always just hope that one kind of lingers by, so we get to keep him again. And he would be definitely one to keep again. So, senior class, thank you. We don't have to do our goodbyes here because we have a whole lot more stuff to do. Okay? So thanks for being there with us. So there are your seniors. And now, Darken Theater. Folks, thank you so much for coming out tonight and supporting these guys and gals. As Mr. Dunnigy had mentioned, next week, come out to see once again the choir and what they're doing. And then on May 19th, I believe it's another Thursday, 4 weeks later, is Jazz in the Valley. Keep supporting, keep plugging away. If you like what you've heard, tell these guys at home. They should be thanking you, okay? And again, thanks for coming out. We'll probably play something just a little bit more, but you can mingle around. So thanks again for coming, and good night.